Hey YouTube, Brian Hectic here, showing my ugly mug for the first time on camera. So, I've got some news for the 53 or 54 followers I actually have on this channel. I got a Jeep Wrangler. It's a 2001 4.0. Don't worry, I still have my GTI. She's actually in the garage over here. Still got her, she's still fine. But yeah, I bought a Jeep and it's freaking awesome. So it's a 2001 Jeep Wrangler, as I specified, the Sahara trim. It's got the 4.0 liter engine. I bought it used a few weeks ago. My rationale for this was because I wanted a vehicle that had all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive capabilities to A, bring in the snow, and B, a vehicle I could bring to places that I wouldn't necessarily want to bring my GTI, off-road, airsoft games, things like that, and I love it. So I purchased it. As you can see, it has a lot of aftermarket parts on it. Not a lot, but a couple. If you're familiar with trucks, you can tell it's lifted. I think it has about a 2-inch lift on it. It has the Rough Country lift kit. Not sure what model exactly. It's got some kind of, I guess you'd call it a roll bar or a roll cage. I'm not quite sure, but it's actually on the top of it, and below it, it has obviously the hard top. It's got some tint on the back windows to make it NJ legal, because you can't really do anything fun in this state. It's got Mickey Thompson rims with Goodyear Duratrack tires. They're the 33ers. It's in pretty good condition. I wanted a truck that was relatively easy to work on, and this Jeep definitely hit home with it. Like everything, if you're familiar with Jeeps, the 4.0 inline 6s are relatively easy to work on. It's got about 87,000 miles on it. My girlfriend's dad actually knew the guys who were selling this on their lot, and he told me they would treat me well. So, take a look at the interior. The interior's pretty clean. I don't know if these seats are stock or not. Comment in the comments if you want to enlighten me. It's got this camo duct tape trim on it. I kind of want to get rid of it, I kind of don't. I feel like it's going to be a pain in the butt to get rid of and get all that residue off, so I may keep that. But yeah, there's it's in great shape for an 01. There's no rust on it. It came with a stock tire that's virtually, or a spare tire that's virtually useless because it obviously has larger tires on it. But yeah, virtually no rust. The engine's in good shape. It is an automatic, so the tranny does pull real fast and real hard. So everything's in good shape with it that I could see. There was no leakage anywhere else either, so I'm pretty stoked about this. Like, I've always wanted a Jeep. So, why did I buy a Jeep? So I've always wanted a Jeep since I was probably 5 or 6. If you grew up in the 90s, you might remember that awful Land of the Lost reboot they came out with in like probably 92 or 93. If you're not familiar with the series, the premise is, I think it was some scientist and his 2 kids get like stuck in some time warp and end up in some prehistoric era where there's both dinosaurs and mammals in the same environment, which, biologically and genetic doesn't really make any sense, because obviously mammals came after the dinosaurs became extinct. But anyway, for some reason they also had like a Jeep Grand Cherokee that got warped back there with them, I guess, that they owned. I don't know why the Jeep came with them, but I digress. So I saw the show when I was a kid. I saw the Jeep. I thought it was a Jeep Cherokee. I thought it was like the coolest thing ever. I would always like bug my parents to buy me a Jeep, or not buy me a Jeep, but buy our family a Jeep for the next family car. And of course, my parents, being the practical people they were like, no, it's bad on gas. They're not reliable, blah, 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 whatever. But I never really lost that desire to own like a Jeep. I always loved how they looked. I loved the craftsmanship of them, the styling, the culture associated with it. So now, that I'm an adult, I have, an adult job where I can afford to make purchases on my own like this. I dropped the hammer on a Jeep. So I purchased this Jeep through one of those online websites. I think it was Car Finder or Cars.com. And I was scrolling through them. I was a little bit hesitant because I know, like, I'm not familiar with Jeeps. Like, I'm familiar with Volkswagens. If you've followed my page or you've watched my videos, you've seen they've all been about GTIs and the like. So I was a little iffy. I did a little bit of like basic research on them, reliability issues that come with them, what to look out for. And this one, like I mentioned, had no death wobble. It wasn't rusted out on the bottom. There wasn't much rust at all. The four-wheel drive was tight. Didn't see any issue. And my girlfriend's dad was like, oh, Dave and Mike, I know those guys. That was a car dealer I was looking at, Dave and Mike's. If you are in the New Jersey area, definitely look them up because they're pretty honest guys. But he was like, I know those guys. They'll treat you right. So I went down and looked at the Jeep. Wasn't planning on buying it 100%, but I did want to take a look at it. So they handed me the keys and they said, take it, go beat the snot out of it. If you're not convinced, then just, don't worry about it. So I took the Jeep out and, took it off-road, threw it into part-time four-wheel drive and just floored it on sand and some dirt and drive, reverse. Didn't see any issue. Took it on the highway. The engine pulled hard and strong. The transmission was nice and tight, shifted really well. There wasn't a lot of lag. It didn't, shudder or thunk whenever it changed gears. So at first I had a little bit of buyer's anxiety, but I did go through with the sale and haven't regretted it since. I love it. Like I'm a Jeep fanboy at this point. I was actually hoping to make this video on an action camera that my girlfriend actually got me for Christmas, and it was a Vivitar, I think it's how you pronounce it, Vivitar 785 HD camera, and it's not the best camera. I hope she's not watching this video, but yeah, so I just decided to make this video about the Jeep. Hopefully I'll get a more durable, better quality action camera, hopefully soon in the near future, and I can make more videos. But I did just want to share what's going on for that minority of followers on YouTube that actually follow me. And if you have any suggestions or any other input about Jeeps, definitely leave it on the comment box below. Peace out.